Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I'm talking about sun-stunned skin. You know what I'm talking about. You spent a little bit too much time outside and now your skin is feeling it. It's stressed, it's red, it's hot, dehydrated, and irritated. We know the best way to take care of our skin is not just about what we do before we go out into the sun, sunscreen, right? But it's also what we do post-sun to make sure that our skin feels comfortable, it's healthy, strong, and glowing. So today I want to share with you some tips on how to achieve that, plus some of my favorite products. Now I want to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Lerinn Beauty. They are a really cool, innovative, minimalist skincare brand, really driven by ingredients and formulated with sensitive skin folks in mind. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. So let's talk about some post-sun skincare tips to get you started. First and foremost, when you've been outside in the heat and in the sun, your skin is probably really hot. It might be looking a little bit red. It might even look inflamed, right? So your first step is to cool and soothe your skin. Being out in the sun for a prolonged period of time can increase dehydration within the skin. So you might be feeling like your skin is feeling a little bit like tight underneath all that sweat, right? Maybe even some oil, but if you feel a tightness under your skin from being out in the sun and heat, that is dehydration, transepidermal water loss. We want to rehydrate the skin. Now you also want to focus on repairing and strengthening the skin barrier when you've been outside for a long time, because the sun, again, even when we're wearing sunscreen, it can wear down on the skin barrier over time. And especially if you do feel that little tightness in your skin that we talked about, that dehydrated feeling, that's actually a symptom that your skin barrier might have been a little bit weakened from that sun exposure. And the sun can dry your skin out, leaving it really rough and dull. So don't skip out on the moisturizer, right? Even if it's hot, even if you've been sweating a lot, you can moisturize your skin in a way that still allows your skin type to breathe and really help to address that dull, dry, rough skin. And remember these golden rules to help your skin bounce back right after sun exposure. Keep it extremely gentle and remember to avoid harsh ingredients like really aggressive exfoliants, drying forms of alcohol, fragrances, and essential oils. So let's talk about the 5 products I recommend for post-sun skincare. This is the Lerinn Hyaluronic Aqua Gel, and this is a really great example of all 4 steps that I just laid out. It really helps to cool and soothe your skin. It helps to hydrate the skin, repair, and moisturize. This is one of those rare hyaluronic acid gel moisturizers that's not too thin and not too sticky. You know, I'm very picky about this type of texture, especially when it comes to gel textures for the summer. Sometimes they're just too thin and they don't protect your skin or moisturize in the way that you need it to. And then other times they're just like really overwhelming. They're like really sticky and like thick. And this just really strikes a beautiful balance. I was so surprised by this because yes, it has this beautiful true gel texture that is incredibly cooling, very, very soothing, but it has this elegance to the texture too. This isn't just that plump and sticky kind of feel. It spreads really beautifully. It really softens and conditions the skin. It absorbs in really deeply and really feels very refreshing, very hydrating, but it also has just a nice amount of breathable occlusivity to it. And that's really important for fighting dehydration, which, as I mentioned, a lot of time in the sun can actually weaken your skin barrier and cause that dehydrated sensation in your skin. So, you know, in the summer, my T-zone definitely goes a lot more oily than it does in other seasons, but I'm still dealing with the dryness in my U-zone, and especially the dehydration can definitely ramp up from maybe a little bit too much sun exposure, but also being in the air conditioning a little bit too much can also make my skin more dehydrated. So finding that right balance between what's light enough to not, you know, make my pores congested and that doesn't like make my oil go into overdrive, but what also treats that dry and sometimes rough skin that I get in my U-zone. And this really works so well for that. It's incredibly breathable, very hydrating, as I've already mentioned. I love the texture, no stickiness in sight. I hate really sticky gel moisturizers. I don't like that as a final layer. This has a really beautiful, elegant, silky, skin softening texture with no tackiness at the top. Really plumps out the skin, feels very cooling and refreshing. And there's just that right amount of occlusivity for my combo skin. It fights the dehydration. I didn't think it was going to, quite honestly, especially gel textures. True gel textures don't usually perform well for me. But this has that real beautiful kind of weighty, medium gel feel to it. Lots of hydration, good amount of occlusivity, but my skin doesn't feel overwhelmed because it's not like heavy and sticky and rich. And what's really cool about this moisturizer, it's incredibly soothing. You know, I will say I had this on my desk the other day. I got mosquito bites when welcome to humidity and the upper Midwest in summer, right? The mosquitoes are everywhere. And I got mosquito bites after I took my dog out, and they were itching so bad. My skin was getting really red, and I just like could not stop rubbing on it. You know what I mean? And I just had this on my desk because I was writing up my notes about this, and I was like, I just want to put something on it. Like, I know this is very cooling. Let me just put this on. And it stopped the itching, like the soothing. I was very surprised by that because, you know, this is definitely, like I said, it's plumping, it's occlusive, it fights dehydration, but the soothing effect on this is very strong. It really calmed down that itching and that irritation on my skin almost immediately. And this is something that really is great for a sunburn because, like I said, not only does it feel cooling and hydrating, which is really important. You want to keep that skin from a sunburn very hydrated to help it heal up much more healthy, right? You want to keep that moisturized. And so, yes, it provides that moisture, it provides that hydration, but that soothing, that cooling to the skin, it really helps with that irritation as well. So you could, you know, put this on your sunburn, but you could also, if your skin is really feeling it from the sun, you could even use this as like a real thick layer on your skin, like almost like a sleeping pack too. So let's break down the ingredients. We do have a few different types of hyaluronic acid at different molecular weights. Hyaluronic acid is a natural moisturizing factor. It's found naturally within your skin and applied topically through skincare. It can be very effective for hydrating your skin, but it's great to get it at the different weights because the molecule itself can be very big. And so, you know, oftentimes with the hyaluronic products, like I said, they kind of just sit on top of your skin. It doesn't really feel like it's doing much. You need those different molecular weights so that they can get deeper into your skin and do what they're supposed to do, which is really plump up your skin, really bring in lots of hydration and lock it in place. This moisturizer also uses beta-glucan, which is one of my favorite hydrating ingredients. It's also a very soothing ingredient. Now, beta-glucan in this moisturizer, it's derived from oats, and you know that oats have a really amazing anti-inflammatory property. And as I talked about before, you know, it's really important post, you know, sun that you get the inflammation in your skin down as fast as you possibly can. Beta-glucan is a great way to do that. It's really strong anti-inflammatory properties. This moisturizer also uses allantoin, which has a strong anti-inflammatory property to it, which I've already covered. So important after being out in the heat and in the sun, you need to calm that inflammation down. And then they're also using a complex of vegan collagen amino acids plus microalgae. So microalgae is an amazing source of a strong antioxidant known as astaxanthin. Now, this is a really great antioxidant that really helps to protect the skin. So, you know, we're talking about post-sun care, but antioxidants are really important for pre-sun care because they can really help to defend the skin against the environmental aggressors, the UV exposure, and the inflammation, right? Which is really like, that's kind of like the hidden tip, right? When it comes to sun care pre and post, it's all about controlling the inflammation before and after. And so you do want some strong antioxidants in your skincare routine, and you're going to get that from the microalgae. But actually, this is a complex of both of these ingredients, the vegan collagen amino acids and the microalgae together. They actually enhance the benefits of the hyaluronic acid in the formula. And that's why I said this isn't just like the thin, sticky hyaluronic acid. Like, this has been formulated in a very smart way to not only create a beautiful, you know, well-performing texture, but also something that helps the hydration to last longer and to perform harder for your skin. You know, collagen is an amazing humectant. It's great for softening the skin, conditioning the skin, helping hydration to last longer in the skin. And that's what it's doing here with the vegan collagen amino acid complex here. It really helps to enhance the hyaluronic acid. So you're getting more of the hydration, more of the firmness, more of the plumpness in your skin. Now, my next product is more of like a genre of product because I'm talking about chilled skincare, baby. Oh yeah. Now, the easiest way to cool down your skin after being outside in the heat and in the sun is just to put cold water on your skin, right? That's going to stop the heat, right? The hotness on your skin, which is so uncomfortable. It's going to feel really refreshing and good too, especially if you've been sweating, but it's also going to help with the redness and with the inflammation as well. So, you know, wash your face with cold water right away, get in the shower, blast some cold water. That all works, right? And that it costs nothing, right? Just the pennies that it costs for the water usage, right? But you can also chill your skincare too. And this feels so good after being out in the sun. Let me tell you, I love to keep sheet masks in the refrigerator in the summer, especially after I've been outside, like cleaning up my lawn and like mowing the lawn and stuff, and I'm sweating and I feel disgusting. Like a nice chilled sheet mask after washing my face feels amazing. Now, one of my favorites, you know, classic, you know, for post-sun skincare, it's aloe, right? Aloe is an amazing hydrating ingredient. It has beautiful soothing properties. It's great for replenishing the skin. Like I said, when you're outside, it can dehydrate you. It can dry you out. You want to keep that skin nice and moist. This is why there's all those aloe gels for sunburns and things like that, right? But I love the Benton aloe sheet mask. It is such a classic like product. I've been using this for probably over 10 years, maybe 13 years now, honestly. I love this sheet mask. Fragrance free, no irritating ingredients in sight. Very simple, but incredibly replenishing. So hydrating, really soothing, helps to take down redness on the skin. But when you chill it, right? Like, oh, what a treat. What a chilly treat for your skin. I absolutely love this one. Love to keep this one in the fridge. Toners you can keep in the refrigerator too. I find this one a little bit more difficult if your refrigerator isn't close to where you like to do your skincare routine, but I love to keep mists in the refrigerator, keep those nice and chilled. This is especially good, not even just from like spending a lot of time outside, but if you're just going about your day and it's just hot, you know, and your skin just feels gross and like a little sticky and a little sweaty, just a like shot of mist feels so good and refreshing, right? But it can really revive your skin when it's feeling very hot, especially if you're prone to rosacea. You know how important it is to actually control how hot your skin gets. Because if your skin gets hot, if your body gets hot, then the redness starts to manifest a lot more, right? So keeping some mist in the refrigerator can be a really quick way to just kind of cool your skin down when you need it. But it also feels amazing when you've been out in the sun all day too and just get a nice shot, right? I love misting right after being outside. It feels so good, especially when it's chilled. So let's talk about mists, right? One of the ones that I've been gravitating towards a lot this summer is the Cocokind magnesium spray. So this is really cool because it's not just like water, you know, in a can, which like don't knock it. That can work too if you want to chill that in the refrigerator. But I love the magnesium in here. They're using magnesium PCA. Now this is a really great ingredient to use in your skincare, especially when your skin feels stressed, especially from the sun, when it feels a little bit irritated. You know, I feel like even though I work on my barrier so hard, if I spend a little bit too much time in the heat and in the sun, especially if I'm sweating, I just feel like my skin feels like it's just a little bit more prone to sensitivity. Like it just feels off. Like it just feels a little bit weak. Magnesium is one of those ingredients that just kind of like rebalances your skin, especially if you have a very sensitive skin. It kind of rebalances your skin microbiome and your skin barrier, and it can really help to take down that stressed feeling, that little irritated, not like burning, but just that kind of like irritated kind of feeling. I especially get that after sweating. Like my skin is just totally out of whack and totally out of balance. And this magnesium spray really seems to help like rebalance my skin afterwards. So I don't feel as stressed out. I don't feel as itchy. And this just has a really beautiful mist application. You know, it is a very light, hydrating type of mist. There's not like an oil slip to it. It's not like a plumping type of mist. It's just a very fine, watery mist. And it's not spitting those droplets out at you, which, I don't mind that either, but especially if you're just kind of topping off your skin throughout the day, maybe even you're wearing makeup, you don't want droplets being spit out at your face. Maybe you're keeping this in the fridge at work or something too, right? Like this is a very fine mist that just delivers a really even layer on your skin, and it just calms your skin down, cools your skin down immediately. Now, speaking of hydration and toners, I definitely have to talk about hydrating toners because these are really key players in any, I think, summer skincare routine, at least for me personally. But as I've mentioned a few times now, the sun, right, the heat can really cause a lot of transepidermal water loss, aka dehydration, right? Even just being, if you're like an inside person, even just being in the air conditioning a lot can really induce the transepidermal water loss in your skin too. So really rehydrating your skin, we talk so much about drinking lots of water in the heat. Well, your skin needs to drink a lot of hydration as well. And toners are one of the best ways to do that. And as I also mentioned, maybe, the sunburn happens. It can happen for sure. You want to keep that skin hydrated. If you keep your skin hydrated, it is going to heal healthier. You do not want that skin to dry out. And so, hydrating skincare toners can be a part of how you keep your skin hydrated while it's healing and recovering from that sun-stunned or sunburned effect that you got. So I really have to talk about my most favorite toner of all time, right? It's the Make Prem Essence Toner. I couldn't not include it because it's such a summer staple for me, really an all year round staple for me, but like this is my favorite one. It is so watery, it's light, but once it absorbs into your skin, and it absorbs quite quickly, there's really no body to this. It's not like a gel or bouncy like toner. It's just very, very pure watery, but once it absorbs into your skin, there's this fullness effect. It dives in deep, it gets down to where the dehydration is, and it just bursts into watery, replenishing, refreshing, cooling hydration deep within the skin. You can get away with just one layer of this and feel totally rehydrated. I am a toner queen. I love lots of layers of hydration. I'll use one layer of this, 2 layers of this, and my skin feels so replenished and so good. And you know how thirsty my skin can get, right? And it just does not need a lot because it's so hardworking just in that first layer alone. I don't know how they do it, but there's just something about this that is amazing for dehydration. So I really like the ingredients here. It's a very, very simple ingredients list, and we're really sticking to those golden rules, right? Very gentle, not harsh, no fragrances. So they are using glycerin and panthenol, which are beautiful humectants for the skin. Panthenol particularly, not only does it hydrate the skin, it also helps to strengthen your skin barrier. This toner also contains allantoin, which we covered already, a really strong anti-inflammatory type of ingredient, very soothing for the skin. And then they're also using a little touch of ceramide NP, which we know, great barrier strengthening ingredient. And speaking of barrier care, this is the Torriden Solidin Ceramide Essence. This is an essence slash serum. You could use this as a serum, quite honestly. This is that type of product that brings all of those amazing barrier strengthening and repairing ingredients in the most perfect summer, hot weather appropriate texture. And let me tell you, ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids, these tend to be very heavy, moisturizing, almost creamy like ingredients. So to find it in this plumping gel-like texture is incredibly rare. So I love the formula here because they're using 5 different varieties of ceramides. Now, ceramides are great for your skin barrier, but did you know, and you probably do because you watch my videos, that your skin barrier is made up of 50% of ceramides, naturally. Like half of your skin barrier is natural ceramides. And actually, applying ceramides topically through skincare is very beneficial for replenishing that skin barrier, strengthening it up, especially if it's been weakened from being out in the sun or even being in the drying air conditioning, right? So it's great that there's variety here, but remember how important ceramides are to your skin barrier. But that's not the only story happening in this skin barrier. 25% of your skin barrier is also made up of cholesterol, which we have here in the ingredients list. And an additional 25% of your skin barrier is made up of fatty acids, which we also have fatty acid content here in this formula. So I always call this the holy trinity of barrier care, right? These 3 ingredients are all represented here in this formula. And these are the 3 that you really want to focus on if you're really feeling like, hey, my barrier is not okay. Barrier is not okay. You need these 3 ingredients to help make it okay. So I love that focus here in the essence. But then they also have a really heavy focus on panthenol as well. And as I mentioned, beautiful hydrating ingredient, but it actually also helps to support your skin barrier. It actually helps to create more lipids that help to strengthen up the skin barrier. And that's really important for helping to hold hydration in place. Your barrier is what holds hydration in. When it's weak, that's when the transepidermal water loss is occurring. That's when the dehydration is happening. So as I mentioned, I'm going to say it again because it's so important, right? If your skin feels dehydrated, tight, deep within your skin, you feel like you need all the hydration in your skin, like your skin's not holding on to it, rehydrate your skin, use the toners, use the mist, use the hyaluronic acid cream, right? But remember to work on that skin barrier too, because ultimately strengthening your skin barrier is what's going to solve the dehydration crisis in your skin, right? And so panthenol really helps to support that with the ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids, right? It's so amazing for that. But panthenol is also what is helping to keep this essence from being greasy and heavy too, and like really creamy, right? Because we've got this beautiful plumping gel-like texture. It spreads beautifully across the skin, it actually absorbs into like this burst of hydration deep within the skin. That's the panthenol at play, right? Bursts into hydration, does all of that hydrating deep down within the skin, absorbs nicely without any sticky, tacky, like weird filminess at the top of your skin. Sometimes gel textures, even in the summertime, they just don't quite absorb the way you need them to. There is a kiss of moisture to this, which is, not overwhelming. It's not oily. It's not rich. It's not greasy. It's not a layer on top of your skin. There's just a little moisture that softens the skin. If you have any rough patches, this is going to feel really nice on the skin. But that little kiss of moisture that's not overwhelming actually holds all that deeper panthenol hydration deep within the skin. It just kind of hugs it in lightly and helps it to last a little bit longer on the skin. So, this combination of just that kiss of moisture, but all of that like big plumping energy from the panthenol and that gel-like texture, this really does make it a great essence for combination skin. But this is also a recommendation that I have for oily skin types that are going through maybe a weak or damaged moisture barrier, because this texture is going to be so much more friendly to your skin type than all the creamy serums and the lotion-like textures out there and those heavy moisturizers, right? That A, don't feel good on oily skin, and B, don't feel good on any skin in the summertime, right? This is going to really help to strengthen up your skin barrier, but still allow your skin type to breathe and not clog your pores and just feel like overwhelming and greasy and heavy at the same time. I feel like in the skincare community, we always focus on the pre-sun skincare part of it, but we rarely focus on the post-sun skincare. So I hope that these tips and products really helped you out. Maybe you can implement these in your routines this summer. Thank you again to Lerinn Beauty for sponsoring today's video. All the products we talked about are linked in the pinned comment as well as the description box. You can check that out if any of these sounded right for you. And please consider hitting subscribe if you haven't already, and come join our skincare community. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. And I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light. I will see you in the next video. I love you so much. Bye.